Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, July 12th, 2022, Tuesday. Stand up for your country and live a smart life. That is our new theme here on the No Spin News, live a smart life. We're going to define it at the end of the broadcast again. We did it last night. Got a lot of good tips. Tomorrow night, we're going to give you some money-saving tips. But in this very dubious, word of the day, dubious atmosphere in America, we have to be smart now. Can't be apathetic. We can't be lazy. You got to be smart to protect yourself and your family. Now, being smart is going to put you ahead of 95% of Americans. Not to say that they're dumb, but they're not focused on what's important, and we are. So one of the things that we will talk to you about in the future, this summer and fall, is avoiding blunders. And that is one of the things the Biden administration is not doing. In fact, I have never seen so many blunders from an executive branch in my lifetime that are happening now, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So the oil situation is the biggest blunder of the Biden administration. He's going to Saudi Arabia on Saturday, the president is, to talk to the sheikhs about pumping more oil. Can you imagine this? So 5 years ago, under Donald Trump, 6 years ago, the USA was energy independent. We didn't need to buy any energy anywhere because we were producing it. First day in office, Joe Biden comes in January 20th, 2021, and attacks the American energy industry. We all know this. He slaps regulations on it in harvesting oil, fracking, coal, everything in the name of global warming. That sent a signal to the rest of the world that the U.S. energy industry was going to decline, which it has. Therefore, the price worldwide of a barrel of oil went up and up and up. And that's why inflation exploded in the USA and other countries, because we're paying more to drive an automobile, heat and cool our homes. And that affects everything. All right, we all got it? Biden, 100% his fault. Not Putin, not the oil companies, Biden. Okay, so now he has to go over to Saudi Arabia, a country he despises, as do most leftists in America, because it's a totalitarian state. If they want to murder somebody, they murder somebody. He's got to go there and say, "Oh, please, pump more oil." And then he's going to have to give the sheikh something to get more oil. He'll get it. But we'll give them weapons or we'll give them whatever they want. And you'll never hear about that, what we give them. Okay, so Biden is desperate now. The Democratic Party is desperate because they see the numbers. 33% job approval in a New York Times for President Biden? Unheard of. But even the dimmest of us, people who never will lead a smart life, no, he's screwing up. The only people that are behind Biden are the zealots, the hardcore. If they weren't hardcore leftists, they'd be Moonies. Okay, so this is a catastrophe. And now people trying to defend Biden are looking like they're clowns. Roll the tape.
Your administration has blamed this on the war, and that was certainly a big factor. But gas prices had gone up 50% already before the war. So to me, that's half of the blame, not all the blame.
Yeah, and what I'm saying about is that when it comes to these sky-high gas prices, drivers are mad about it. I'm mad about it. The president's mad about it. Oil company executives are thrilled because this is good news for them.
Okay, so why didn't Neil Cavuto say, wait a minute, oil company executives are thrilled? Well, that may be so, but they didn't gouge under Trump, did they? The oil companies didn't exploit oil under Trump because they couldn't. because there was enough product. It's supply and demand. Now, Cavuto didn't do that. I can't tell you why he didn't do it. It's obvious that he should have. And Buttigieg himself, Secretary of Transportation, under his watch, the airline industry's collapsed. He's done nothing. So Biden and Buttigieg, they're compatible. We're not going to do anything to solve anything. Okay, just a reminder, last year, Trump's presidency, gasoline averaged $2.17 in this country. I mean, it's unbelievable. What is it, $5 now? It's going down a little bit now, all right, because the futures market sees that OPEC is probably going to pump more. But we're still paying ridiculous prices for a gallon of gas to heat and cool your home. That's a memo. All right, the president's schedule today, got a busy day, 11:15 a.m. He met with Obrador of Mexico, total farce. Obrador is never going to do anything to help the United States. He doesn't like the United States. At 4:30, there was a White House congressional picnic. I guess Obrador didn't get invited to that, but a picnic. I bet you I don't think any Republicans went. We'll find out tomorrow if any Republicans went to the picnic. And then 10 p.m., he goes to Israel for his Middle East jaunt. It's Israel first, then Saudi Arabia. Okay, so he'll be back. The president will be back on July 16th. And that is, for the weekend, he's got to have the weekend in Delaware, so of course he's coming back for that. Now, this is such a catastrophe. The Biden administration is such a catastrophe that even CNN, in the tank for Biden all day long, try to get him elected in every way possible. Okay, even CNN is challenging. Go.
What was the president's response to a new poll from the New York Times today showing that 64% of Democrats say that they would prefer a different candidate in 2024?
And I would also say from that very same poll, there were 92% of Democrats who support this president as well.
Not true. So she stands up there, this woman, and just lies. All right, here's the truth. 70% of Democrats approve, not 92%. All right? 25% disapprove, according to the New York Times poll. 68% of independents, which is the key voting bloc now, disapprove. So Biden's toast. As I told you, he's not going to run again in 24. I don't think he's going to make his first term out, as I've told you. I don't want to be repetitive here. Now, what was Miss Jean-Pierre referring to with the 92% figure? Okay? She was referring to another question that said, if Biden runs against Trump, would you support Trump or Biden? That's the 92% that Ms. Jean-Pierre was referring to, but it had nothing to do with the question. So she misled the nation, Jean-Pierre did, and she could fall back on that question, Trump versus Biden. You see what this is? This is propaganda. This is what they do. Isn't it a shame that the White House press secretary responsible for delivering honest information to the American public is dishonest? Isn't that a shame? Now, you may say they all do it, and to some extent you're right, but not that. That's just blatant. Now, Ms. Collins, the White House correspondent for CNN, should have said, wait a minute. I got the poll right here, and the 92% isn't the job approval rating. Why are you saying it is? But Collins can't do that because she works for CNN. And her liberal base would be outraged that she followed up. So she's dishonest. And maybe that's too harsh. Maybe that's too harsh on Caitlin Collins. But she does, like Cavuto, they're not prepared for the dishonesty. I mean, Cavuto could have just slayed Buttigieg, slayed him, but he didn't. And Collins, easy follow-up. Wait a minute. I have the poll right here, Madam Secretary, or whatever you call her. And it's 70%, not 92%. What are you talking about? Wouldn't do it. Or wasn't smart enough to do it. See, this disturbs me as a journalist because you, the American people in general now, you'll get the truth here, but not everybody watches the No Spin News. to their detriment because they don't know what the deuce is going on because of the deception in the government and the incompetence / deception in the media. You combine the two, you don't know what's going on. Hey, I'm sure you've noticed everything's getting more expensive with all this printing of money and spending by the progressives. I am concerned the dollar's end could be near. If the government continues this way, the dollar could freefall and lose its coveted role as the world's reserve currency. That's why there's never been a more important time to consider gold and silver. And American Hartford Gold is the only company I'm happy to put my name behind. I've done business with them myself. It just takes a quick phone call and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA. Plus, tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you and they'll give you up to $1,500 of free silver on your first order. So don't wait. Please call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, 877-444-GOLD or text GOLD to 65532. If you are stuck in a timeshare and you haven't called Lone Star Transfer yet, what are you waiting for? Lone Star Transfer has helped more than 16,000 happy customers. They are family owned, have a 99% success rate. Their process is done legally, ethically, and quickly. I mean, does it get better than that? The team at Lone Star Transfer will keep you informed every step of the way until you are legally and permanently released from your timeshare. So don't pay another penny for a timeshare you don't use. Get peace of mind today with Lone Star Transfer. They guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Give Lone Star Transfer a call for a free no-obligation consultation. 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at lonestartransfer.com. One guy who does know what's going on, who is an honest man, and I bring him on, monthly now, is Doug Shong. So Doug is a Democrat political strategist, long resume, worked for Bill Clinton and on and on and on. And he sees the destruction of the Biden administration firsthand. He joins us now from New York City. So in my talking points memo, when I did that to set you up, did I go awry anywhere in your opinion?
No. The only thing I would add, Bill, is in addition to giving up energy independence, which Biden has done, the Democrats have completely punted the immigration issue. The open borders are back. There's no movement towards tightening the borders. If the judge last week had not kept Title 42 in place, it would be even worse for Biden. But what I've read recently, which startles me, is they've come back to this Build Back Better bill, which is a complete disaster, will fuel inflation, raise taxes, raise spending.
Yeah, but that's not even going to get anywhere. You know that. I mean, McConnell never put it up before the election. Nobody, and Manchin and Sinema wouldn't do it anyway. But the reason I didn't mention the border and other blunders is because I wanted to do a memo in the context of him going to Saudi Arabia. And in my opinion, the number one blunder is destroying the American energy industry to the extent that it comes home to each American. And that, as you know, is going to be the overriding issue in the midterm election, correct?
That plus prices at the grocery store. Yeah, it's put simply inflation and the inability of the Biden administration to do anything about it, to have a plan for energy independence and for prices at the retail counter. Bill, it's an unmitigated disaster. And as his approval, the president's, gets close to or at 30%, we're looking to historic levels of defeat for the Democrats in the midterm.
I have said that over and over again, Joe Biden cannot process information. Now, you may see this differently, and if you do, I want your opinion. So I don't think that Biden lives in the real world. Now, he knows the poll numbers are low. He does. They have to tell him that. I don't know how much they tell him, but he knows he's not doing well. But he doesn't correlate the global warming climate change far left progressive movement with the destruction or the harm to the American industry, American energy industry. He doesn't see that. He thinks he's noble in trying to get the country away from fossil fuels, despite all the pain, despite all the economic pain. Would you say that's an accurate assessment of him?
I would say it's an accurate assessment. Put another way, we need more drilling. We need the Keystone Pipeline. We need fracking. We need to have what we had under Donald Trump, which was effective energy independence.
Okay, I know what we need, but Biden's mindset is not that. He's not
Precisely
going to
where
bed
I
every
was
go.
going.
He's not going to bed every night going, gee, we need what Doug Shong just said. He's going to bed go, I'm a saint because I'm advancing the cause of climate change. That's what he's going to bed saying, right?
And that is what ultimately is hurting him, hurting the American people, and will cost him potentially control of Congress.
Okay. Now, in your latest column, and first tell everybody where they can read your columns, Doug.
I am in the Hill every week. I am in the Orange County Register.
Okay, Orange County Register every week, thehill.com. Throw
Yes, sir.
that up. You can read Doug. Now, you are very hard on Vice President Harris. You say that the woman is almost incapable of public speaking. Let's roll a tape on that. We'll analyze.
When you look back, did Democrats fail, past Democratic presidents, congressional leaders, to not codify Roe v. Wade over the past 5 decades?
I think that, to be very honest with you, I do believe that we should have rightly believed, but we certainly believe that certain issues are just settled. Certain issues are just settled.
Clearly we're not.
No, that's right. And that's why I do believe that we are living, sadly, in real unsettled times.
Okay, so she wouldn't hammer the Democratic Party for not codifying Roe v. Wade, which wouldn't have done any good anyway, because the Supreme Court can throw out any law made by Congress. So it's ridiculous. The whole argument is stupid. But if Joe Biden resigns, and again, I give him a 30% chance in 2023 to quit because of health reasons, then she becomes president, and you say that would be a disaster as well.
It would be a disaster for the reasons the viewers saw just now. She can't answer a simple question about whether something should be a law or not. She didn't really appear to know or have an opinion. And bottom line, she was a disaster when she was handling the border. They've kept her under wraps. Her staff is departing. One seems to go every week or two. There is nothing that she has contributed that has worked out well for Joe Biden.
That's for sure. Now, final question for you. Democrats, liberals, the media, all want Donald Trump to announce he's running for president in 24 as soon as possible because they believe that would re-energize the Democratic Party and maybe stave off a disaster in November. How do you see that?
Midterm elections are invariably a referendum on the incumbent party. Given that Biden's ratings are approaching 30%, I understand the argument, but reject it. That is, yes, Trump is front and center with the January 6th hearings. If he announced, it would give the Democrats a focal point. But people are going to vote yay or nay on Biden and his performance, not on Donald Trump.
Okay, but there are, in my opinion, Democrats who will stay home in November. They won't pull the lever for Republicans because they're fed up with what's happening in a country. They'll just stay home. But if
That's
Trump...
absolutely
Go ahead.
the case. And there's some Democrats who will vote Republican because what's going on now is unsustainable.
Some, but voting blocks like African Americans, Hispanics are going to go over to the GOP side, but African Americans, things like that, they may just say, look, I'm getting hammered. I'm not going to go vote at all. It's speculation. But if Trump's in, if Trump announces, those people who might stay home, who still hate him, and that's a lot of people, might come out. That's my point.
And that's certainly possible. Yes, Bill.
Okay. Doug Shong, everyone, again, catches stuff at the Orange County Register. It's a newspaper in California and on the Hill. Thank you, Doug. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization in America. I am an AMAC member, and you should be too. AMAC gives you access to exclusive benefits, insightful takes on today's news, and a magazine full of uncensored content that you will not find anywhere else. Most importantly, AMAC is working tirelessly to preserve the freedoms enshrined and secured by our Constitution. AMAC has become one of the most impactful organizations in America because more than just talk, AMAC gets things done. They are pushing back against the efforts to defund our police, weaken the borders, and replace your freedom with government control. But they need your help. Stand with me and more than 2 million patriots and join AMAC today at amac.us. That's AMAC.us. amac.us, and tell them O'Reilly sent you. So I told you yesterday we have a new segment on BillO'Reilly.com that we're going to extend to radio and television called Live a Smart Life. Okay? And we're going to use your tips. And I just got one that I just want to tell you about. This is from Marion on a message board. And she says, basically, when you go into a restaurant, if you buy a beverage, as we discussed yesterday, it's going to charge you from $3 to $12. If you buy an expensive cocktail, it's going to be $12. If you're buying a soda or coffee, it's going to be $3. Okay, so if you got a family of 5 or 6 in there, you can do the math. So what Marion does, and what I do too, she orders a nice tall glass of water. That's free in most American restaurants. Now in Europe, they charge you for water, but not here yet. And then she gets sliced lemons, which they'll give you free, squeeze the lemons in the water and puts a dab of sweetener or sugar in it, and you got lemonade. That's what Marion does. It's a pretty good idea. I like the lemon, but I don't need the sugar or the sweetener, and I like the water. The water is better for you anyway. So that'll save you a lot of money, and that's living a smart life. Another one I got was, before you go to a restaurant, punch up the restaurant's name and website, and the menu will come up and know what you're getting into. Because all the prices will be on the internet before you go. You can see it all and calibrate what's worth it or not. So I got spaghetti and clam sauce last night at my local place, and they really do it well. They raised the price $3 on it. Still worth it. Still worth it to get it, because I like spaghetti and red clam sauce. I like the white too, but I get the red there. But I got big glass of water, and I got a little minestrone soup for the vegetables, and it was a great meal. It didn't kill me. Didn't kill me. Live the smart life. We'll have these segments periodically, I'd say 2-3 times a week. All right, and we have them listed on BillO'Reilly.com so you can read them every day. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow.